Welcome to Alliance Military Database. Classified information requested.
All right.
Establishing secure connection. Secure connection confirmed.
All right. Like I mentioned, we're going to be running a Fem Shep. I already have a modded Shep that I'm going to be using, but because I want to be able to go through the intro with everyone as a group, we're going to create one here, and then once we get through the intro sequence, I'll load my other save that I'd like to use.
Please log in to access your profile.
We'll just go with Jane Shepard
Profile
for this.
reconstruction complete. Please log in to access your profile.
Career and physical stats. So maybe we have to do it.
Please log in to access your profile.
Yep, that's fine. Commander Shepard.
Warning, data corruption detected. Please reconstruct profile. Confirm pre-service history.
In the Alliance. I think we were going to go with Earthborn. You were an orphan raised on the streets of the great megatropolis covering Earth. You escaped the life of petty crime and underworld gangs by enlisting with the Alliance military when you turned 18. Never romance. Oh yeah, never romance. We do not romance Caden in this house. Absolutely not. I don't need a whiny man. So I like to go with Earthborn when I do my Shepherd runs. It doesn't really mean much in the long run in terms of like having an impact on any of the major decisions within the game, but because we talk about like the narrative devices used in the game, something about like the kind of the rags to, you know, metaphorical riches of becoming like, you know, the great savior of the galaxy coming from the squalor of nothing is really just like, I think in a lot of ways, as much as it leans into some of those old tropes, it is very much a classic, you know, hero's journey, which I like to do in my narratives. So we will go with Earthborn. Biggest mistake I made. Hey, you know what? We all made that
Confirm
mistake.
psychological profile.
And then we have Soul Survivor, War Hero, or Ruthless. During your service, a mission you were on went horribly wrong. Trapped in an extreme survival situation, you had to overcome physical torments and psychological stresses that would have broken most people. You survived while all those around you fell, and now you alone are left to tell the tale. You also have War Hero. Early in your military career, you found yourself facing an overwhelming enemy force. You risked your own life to save your fellow soldiers and defeat the enemy despite the impossible odds. Your bravery and heroism have earned you medals and recognition from the Alliance fleet. And then Ruthless. Throughout your military career, you have held fast to one basic rule: get the job done. You've been called cold, calculating, and brutal. Your reputation for ruthless efficiency makes your fellow soldiers wary of you. But when failure is not an option, the military always goes to you first. So right here with War Hero and Ruthless, we essentially see like the Paragon and Renegade mentalities here, like in their soul form. Soul Survivor, I feel like, is kind of the gray area where the game allows you to, you know, take this origin story and build out, is this going to make me, like, did this experience shift my psyche to that of, you know, victory at all costs, Renegade, or, you know, trying to atone for the losses and the mistakes that I made, Paragon. So I think that there's a lot of flexibility in that one. Again, we're going Paragon here. So I am going to go with War Hero because I also like the idea of exploring how this, you know, but when we meet Shepard, this idea of a character who came from nothing and is now established as a decorated, you know, war hero and officer, and how she responds to the most, you know, prominent threat that she and, you know, the collective races will face. So in keeping with this, you know, idea of being Paragon, we are going to go war hero.
Confirm military specialization.
And in in this area, which is just kind of like, are you more of a fighter? Are you more of the techie? Are you, this is kind of like adept is kind of like your mage status. Infiltrator, I think, is a little bit of in between. Sentinel is more of like the mix of like mage and technical. And then I think Vanguard is more of like almost like a rogue. I always go, like with Mass Effect 1, I just go traditional soldier. You get more of your more of the ability to like do some biotic shit in Mass Effect 2 and 3, so I'll kind of like leave it. I'll leave it to, Liara to do that.
Confirm facial identification.
And we'll just go ahead and confirm, because I've got a Shepard we'll be using in my other run.
Profile reconstruction complete.
You'll be unable to change
identification confirmed.
Casual. Yep, we want casual. Auto level up. Turn that. Squad only. I think we leave that. I mean, this doesn't really matter. And then confirm. Turn your mic up or the game down. Okay. Yes. Da 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 da. Where is my mic? Let me know if that is enough. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. Including optional sounds that are disabled by default. Backtrack through Ferris to complete Ferris data recovery. After the completion of the main mission, this option is currently disabled. Alright, we'll leave that as is. Okay. Accept the bugs. Hello, Tristan.
Well,
welcome in.
What about Shepard? Earthborn, but no record of her family.
Doesn't have one. She was raised on the streets. Learned to look out for herself.
She proved herself during the Blitz. Held off enemy forces on the ground until reinforcements arrived.
She's the only reason Elysium is still standing.
We can't question her courage.
Humanity needs a hero. And Shepard's the best we've got.
Oh no, not even
I'll
close,
make
Tristan.
the call.
Explorers on Mars discovered the remains of an ancient spacefaring civilization. In the decades that follow, these mysterious artifacts revealed startling new technologies, enabling travel to the furthest stars. The basis for this incredible technology was a force that controlled the very fabric of space and time. They called it the greatest discovery in human history. The civilizations of the galaxy call it Mass Effect. What happened with your ME2 run?
The Arcturus Prime relay is in range. Initiating transmission sequence.
Commander?
We are connected. Calculating transit mass and destination.
For Tally's Trail?
Relay is hot. Acquiring approach vector. All stations secure for transit. The board is green. Approach run has begun.
Oh, the trial. I didn't think you could have Legion that early for Tally's trial, if I recall correctly.
Hitting the relay in 3,
But it's been a while, I could be wrong.
1.
Thrusters, check. Navigation, check. Internal emissions sync engaged. All systems online. Drift, just under 1500K.
1500 is good. Your captain will be pleased.
'd. I hate that guy.
Nihilus gave you a compliment. So you hate him.
You remember to zip up your jumpsuit on the way out of the bathroom? That's good. I just jumped us halfway across the galaxy and hit a target the size of a pinhead. So that's incredible. Besides, Spectres are trouble. I don't like having them on board. Call me paranoid.
We love our
paranoid.
Joker.
The Council helped fund this project. They have a right to send someone to keep an eye on their investment.
Yeah, that is the official story. But only an idiot believes the official story.
Okay. This is classic world setting to the nth degree. In the span of about 2 minutes, we've learned everything that we need to know. Okay, I know. I don't need, thank you. We've learned everything that we need to know about Shepard at this juncture in the story. I mean, we pretty much already said everything, so we knew Shepard's Earthborn. Shepard had, no family. She came from nothing. She's established herself as a war hero, and now she's being sent on, as of now, this unknown mission that is very important to the Alliance. And we have also gotten our first taste of the Mass Effect relays. So now we see what it means to be able to travel, in this like intergalactic world that these characters live in, and that there is an actual challenge level to being able to do so successfully, as Joker has so charismatically informed us. So we've gotten the first major beats in a very organic way, and we've had like the match is lit now. So we have kind of this like burning curiosity. There was someone on board, this Nihilus character. We don't know who he is. There is some important reason that we're being sent on this mission. We are on a ship that's apparently very state-of-the-art, very valuable to the Alliance. We don't know why. There are a lot of questions that are meant to act as this hook, and it's very critical to hook your audience, and in this case, your player, extremely early, especially in a game like this. I believe with people, your first impression with a person, like when you introduce yourself, happens in like the first 7 to 10 seconds when you like meet a person. A video game, a book, a movie is going to be damn near the same thing. If in a book, and as we learned when we were, as I learned in grad school, if you can't hook your reader in like the first 2 to 3 sentences, whether it's a short story or a poem or a novel or whatever, if you can't hook them in those first few sentences, you're cooked. It's fucking done. You're not going to get them invested in the rest of the story. It is critical to get your audience invested early. And at the very least, if not fully like, ooh, I'm in this now, at the very least, curious enough to continue. You have to be able to plant those seeds effectively early. And Mass Effect 1, for all of its flaws in terms of, there's a lot of mechanical flaws, and there are even some things like, story-wise that I've always just kind of been meh about. It does a great job of establishing our world very early and making you curious about what's going on and making you curious about Shepard overall. I usually wait to get him to the very last, so it's Legion's loyalty mission. Oh, I see. But if I recall correctly, if you get Legion... Oh, wait, no, you're right. You can get Legion before you do tallies. But if you do that, don't you have to go through the Omega 4 relay? Doesn't that happen, like, right afterwards? Because I recall you don't have Legion for very long. And then immediately they start fighting. And you have to deal with that catastrophe. All right, anyway, Paragon.
They don't send Spectres on shakedown runs.
So there's more going on here than the captain's letting on.
Joker, status report.
Just cleared the mass relay, Captain. Stealth systems engaged. Everything looks solid.
Good. Find a comm buoy and link us into the network. I want mission reports relayed back to Alliance brass before we reach Eden Prime.
Aye, aye, Captain. Better brace yourself, sir. I think Nihilus is headed your way.
He's already here, Lieutenant. Tell Commander Shepard to meet me in the comm room for a debriefing.
You get that, Commander?
I'm on my way.
Is it me or does the captain always sound a little pissed off?
Only when he's talking to you, Joker.
All right. let's go ahead and load into... Oh no, can I not load my other game? Oh no, this is for... We're gonna have to... just exit this entirely. And start again. Yeah, I have never played Renegade, I have to say. I can't do it. I can't be mean. I can't be mean. I am not a mean person. Wah, wah. Oops. Oh no. Oh, can I just... Okay, I can switch my careers. Okay, cool. I was like, where's my other one? Let's go to... I have save 5 on here somewhere. I think that's the one I want. There we go. We got our girl.
Congratulations, Commander. Looks like we had a smooth run. You heading down to see the captain?
Sounds like you don't trust Arturian guest.
Sorry, Commander. Just having a chat with Adams down at engineering. I didn't mean to cause any trouble. But you have to admit, something's odd about this mission. The whole crew feels it.
You think the Alliance brass is holding out on us?
If all we're supposed to do is test out the stealth system, why is Captain Anderson in charge? And then there's Nihilus. Spectres are elite operatives, top covert agents. Why send a Spectre, a Turian Spectre, on a shakedown run? It doesn't add up.
See, we're seeing more of that established. Getting this is why it's so important to talk to NPCs in these games. This is so much of how narrative is built in a game, so that you don't get overwhelmed. And in a good, well-designed narrative game, you could skip all of this and still get the necessary breadcrumbs you need when you hit like your main mission beats. But all of the flavoring and stuff you're going to get by talking to the characters who are going to provide you. Yes, they're going to provide their biased opinions. They're going to be unreliable narrators. And so much of the game is, as we're going to talk about, is leaning and relying on an unreliable narrator. But again, this is part of the world building experience, and how you pick and choose what is factual, what is important for me to know, and how do I formulate my own opinion on what a character like Navigator Presley has to say about it, and his perspective on, you know, the events that have happened ahead of the start of the game. Reaper IFF is when you get Legion, right. You can do all loyalty missions before then, but I wanted Legion early. Also, both parties need to be loyal to have it. Right. That's right. Miranda and Jack, Legion and Tally. You need to have enough Paragon and Renegade. Yeah, to keep both loyal. If you don't, one will not be. Yeah, that's true. You can lose your loyalty that way. And that has some pretty terrible repercussions for Mass Effect 3. Alright.
What do you know about the stealth systems?
I just know it masks our location from scans and sensors. Cutting-edge technology. The Normandy's the only ship with this prototype drive. But why are we fully staffed? A skeleton crew would be cheaper, less chance of security leaks, too. Plus, there's Nihilus. It's pretty obvious this shakedown run is just a cover.
Cover for what?
For what?
Damned if I
Oh my God.
Does this unit have a soul?
Here on false pretenses. I'm not a fan of being left in the dark.
Keela Salai. Thank you, Tristan, for those 100 biddies. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. We're out here on false pretenses. So there's a lot of suspicion among the crew here about whatever mission we're being sent on. The suspicion of the crew is meant to elicit suspicion from the player. Or at least curiosity. Why is everyone suspicious of this? Especially if there seems to be so much trust for Captain Anderson and Commander Shepard.
Do you have a problem with the captain?
No, ma'am. But I can't figure out what he's doing here. Captain Anderson is one of the most decorated Special Forces officers in the service.
More backstory.
If he melted down all his medals, he could make a life-size statue of himself. You don't send a soldier like that on a do-nothing mission. He's treating this shakedown run too seriously. Something big is going on.
You don't trust Nihilus.
I don't like Turians in general. It runs in my family. My grandfather fought in the First Contact War. Lost a lot of friends when the Turians hit us.
Well, obviously, narratively, we're going to learn a lot about the First Contact War. We're going to learn a lot about Turians and the other alien races that make up Mass Effect. And one of the things that we're going to be encountering a lot of is space racism. The game has very heavy political and social undertones. And moral undertones that are going to be addressed very, very regularly. But one of the most pervasive topics that come up in the game is the First Contact War, which again we will learn more about. But for the sake of this analysis and conversation, the First Contact War is when humanity for the first time met another alien race, and at this point in the story, it happened like 100-something years ago, I think it is. I don't recall exactly off the top of my head. So humanity's only been in this galactic fold for like a generation and a half. It has not been very long. And the idea that humans being so new to this fold and their first contact with an alien species was an all-out war where so many people died, tensions are obviously still going to run high, and there's going to be some conflict and some resentment between, these human characters and, Turians, which we will be meeting momentarily, and like we're seeing with Nihilus. But it also is such a catalyst for the racist ideals that a lot of humans and actually a lot of Turians and other alien species have for each other. It is such a prevalent concept, and something that even for me is like a thing that I question and think a lot about. Like, we are imposing a lot of human concepts like racism and classism and speciesism on other alien races and species, as if that these species would have these human concepts. So that is a weird, like, philosophical thing to navigate in this game, in this trilogy, which is something that I figure I should point out, because at the end of the day, the story is being told from the perspective of Commander Shepard, a human soldier. So we're going to be absorbing all of this information from the perspective of Shepard. And that's, I think, something important to keep in mind. Yes, exactly. Adam Nort? I hope I'm saying that correctly. Very much. The other races do the same. And that's what I'm pointing out. They do the same thing. But it's interesting because the devs are essentially imparting like human concepts and human emotions, like human behaviors, like racism and speciesism on these other like alien races. It's interesting to assume that other species, other races from completely different parts of the galaxy would have the same like human belief systems that we would have. That's what's interesting to me. Garrus is cool. All of the Turians must burn. I stand with the Krogan. Okay, so there's some strong belief systems. Turians and Solarians must pay. Yeah, that's definitely a thing we're going to be talking about. Well, welcome in, Adam. That was long ago.
That was 30 years ago.
Oh, 30 years ago.
You can't blame Nihilus for that.
No, I guess not. But it still makes me nervous to have a Spectre on board, especially a Turian. We're an Alliance vessel, human military, but Nihilus doesn't answer to the captain like the rest of us. Spectres operate outside the normal chain of command.
And there's
They don't come along just to observe shakedown runs. Nihilus looks like he's expecting some heavy action. I don't like it.
It's heavily implied that Protheans are the reason the races are also human-like. Yeah, and that's something we'll definitely discuss when we get to Mass Effect 3. But you're absolutely right.
You don't trust Nihilus.
I don't like Turians in general.
Oh,
Runs
I
in
already
my
read.
family. My grandfather fought in the First Contact War. Lost a lot of friends when the Turians hit us.
I better head down and see the captain.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
I grew up on Eden Prime, Doc. It's not the kind of place Spectres visit. There's something Nihilus isn't telling us about this mission.
That's crazy.
What do you think, Commander? We won't be staying on Eden Prime too long, will we? I'm itching for some real action.
I sincerely hope you're kidding, Corporal. Your real action usually ends with me patching up crew members in the infirmary.
You need to calm down, Corporal. A good soldier stays cool even under fire.
Sorry, Commander, but this waiting's killing me. I've never been on a mission like this before, not one with a Spectre on board.
What do you know about the Spectres?
Only what I've heard. Spectre agents work directly for the Citadel Council. They usually work alone or in small groups. Spectres don't have any official power, though. Basically, they're a shadow organization with a mandate to preserve and protect galactic stability.
Protect it at any cost. Don't forget that part. Spectres operate above the law.
So now we get the established lore about Spectres. So first of all, Spectre, it stems from the actual word Spectre, which is like a ghost or, haunting sort of undead entity. So the idea, it works really well for a, subgroup of people whose objective is working in the shadows and working like outside of the fringes of the law. And it also provides kind of our foundation for morality in the game, that there is a overarching organization that sanctions a small group of people to operate outside of law practices, which I guess is kind of like the CIA or any sort of like, KGB organization, you know what I mean? And I think provides for the player the ability to experience like this sense of like government sanctioned vigilantism, as I like to put it. Popped out, came back, and now all of a sudden we're streaming BG3. All good, Kaler. Enjoy. We'll see you again soon. Baldur's Gate 3. Considered inferior races, they didn't have a lot of protein invention like humans or Asari did. That is true. Spectres operate above the law, and there are no human Spectres.
Why don't we have any of our own people in there?
Spectres usually come from the Council races, like the Turians. We've been trying to get a human accepted into their ranks for years now. So far, it hasn't happened.
Hey, Commander, you'd make a good Spectre. You're a war hero, right? Held off an entire enemy fleet during the Blitz single-handed? That's the kind of talent the Spectres are looking for.
This is all just wild speculation. The Spectres aren't interested in recruiting humans, no matter how capable.
What can you tell me about Nihilus?
Turians are generally well respected by the other species. Their fleet has more patrols protecting Citadel space than any other. They don't always get on well with us, though. Some people find them too rigid. Others still blame them for the First Contact War. As for Nihilus, I haven't said more than 2 words to him. He usually only speaks to the captain.
I heard Nihilus once took down an entire enemy platoon all by himself. Man, I can't believe I'm on a mission with an actual Spectre.
Eden Prime.
You're from Eden Prime, aren't you, Jenkins? What's it like?
It's very peaceful, Commander. They've been real careful with development, so you don't have any city noise or pollution. My parents lived on the outskirts of the colony. At night, I used to climb this big hill and stare across the fields back at the lights from the main settlement. It was gorgeous. But when I got older, I realized it was a little too calm and quiet for me. That's why I joined the Alliance. Even Paradise gets boring after a while.
I don't think that it's accidental that this world is called Eden Prime, especially with the way that Corporal Jenkins just described it, because Eden, there's so many biblical references in Mass Effect that it is, which is kind of hilarious for a science fiction game. But this is just one of them, because Eden in the biblical story of Genesis is the perfect utopia that God created for the first humans, Adam and Eve, like at the beginning of, in like the first creation story. And when humans committed the first original sin, they are banned from Eden. Eden continues to exist, and, you know, in the myth, Eden is still there. It is just guarded by an angel, and no one is ever allowed to enter it again because it represents complete purity and closeness to God, which is no longer accessible to humans. So the idea of naming a place Eden represents this idea of purity and utopian perfection and peace and prosperity. So it evokes a lot of, it evokes a very, you know, deep sense of, oh, this is a place that represents, you know, the highest ideals of humans at this point. It is like a place where farming happens and where colonies like exist, and you know, it's supposed to be a beacon of what is good about humanity. So we're getting that established very early, and also makes it a very interesting starting point for you know, us here in the prologue. Why are we going to a place like Eden? Or a place like Eden Prime? What could be so special in a place that is literally named after a mythical paradise? In Enemy Universe, the galaxy is not like Asimov Foundation, that every planet is under the same government. So Spectres makes sense. The council is still expanding. Yes, that's true. That is very true. Why are we going there?
Any idea why Eden Prime was chosen as our destination?
Let's get more lore.
Not really sure, Commander. Eden Prime's one of our most stable colonies. Good place to take the Normandy for a shakedown run, I guess. No real danger there. There's gotta be something else going on. We've got a Spectre on board. That's why I'm so wound up. I can't wait for the real mission to start.
Just treat this like every other assignment you've had and everything will work out.
Easy for you to say. You proved yourself in the Blitz. Everybody knows what you can do. This is my big chance. I need to show the brass what I can do.
You're young, Corporal. You have a long career ahead of you. Don't do something stupid to mess it up.
Don't worry, ma'am. I'm not gonna screw this up.
The captain's waiting for me.
Goodbye, Commander.
Bye. Oh, I think I have to go in here. Yep, here we go.
Commander Shepard, I was hoping you'd get here first. It will give us a chance to talk.
Talk?
What about?
I'm interested in this world we're going to. Eden Prime. I've heard it's quite beautiful.
Beyond?
They say it's a paradise.
Yes, a paradise. Serene, tranquil, safe. Eden Prime has become something of a symbol for your people, hasn't it? Proof that humanity can not only establish colonies across the galaxy, but also protect them. But how safe is it really?
Why are you asking?
Do you know something?
Your people are still newcomers, Shepard. The galaxy can be a very dangerous place. Is the Alliance truly ready for this?
I think it's about time we told the Commander what's really going on.
This mission is far more than a simple shakedown run.
I already figured that out.
We're making a covert pickup on Eden Prime. That's why we needed the stealth systems operational.
There must be a reason you didn't tell me about this, sir?
This comes down from the top, Commander. Information strictly on a need-to-know basis. A research team on Eden Prime unearthed some kind of beacon during an excavation. It was Prothean.
A research team on Eden Prime unearthed some kind of beacon during an examination. So, okay. So now we have... Well, we should probably let this play out, but now we have a little bit more of the breadcrumbs. Again, here we're getting a little bit. Okay, beacon. Some sort of call-out. Something that is calling us to this planet.
I thought the Protheans vanished 50,000 years ago.
Their legacy still remains. The mass relays, the Citadel, our ship drives. It's all based on Prothean technology.
This is big, Shepard. The last time humanity made a discovery like this, it jumped our technology forward 200 years. But Eden Prime doesn't have the facilities to handle something like this. We need to bring the beacon back to the Citadel for proper study.
Obviously, this goes beyond mere human interests, Commander. This discovery could affect every species in Council space.
Okay, so a discovery like this from an ancient civilization that's been gone for over 50,000 years, but a civilization that essentially established and was the laid the groundwork for what civilized space looks like here $50,000 later. $50,000, 50,000 years later, excuse me. Obviously, we're going to learn a lot more about the Protheans later. But this is a nugget that's going to be immensely critical to the way that we consume and interpret the rest of this story, because now we understand that everything we're doing and everything we experience, everywhere we go, is all influences and is all essentially on the backs of this mysterious race called the Protheans that have been gone for, longer than any of these other races have existed. And yet they've left enough behind for us to really gain a very, a much clearer understanding than even any of us would have with, ancient civilizations that, were gone even a fraction of that time long ago, like, the Sumerians, Egyptians, that sort of thing. Yeah, they're the space Romans, with a much longer span of time gone. There's no, like, for context, modern humans have been around, I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe it's about 50 to 100,000 years, I think. But we really have very limited knowledge of human civilizations, even as far as, like, and I mean, by human, I mean, like, human, like, Homo sapien humans more than, like, 10,000 years ago. There's so much we just don't know. So the fact that there is a race like the Protheans that have left so much behind, and that this world is technologically advanced enough for there to be a skeleton of this, the evidence that this race of people existed, but not much else, is fascinating to think about. And there are ways that we can relate that even to modern day, because, think about the fact that, like, you go to Rome or you go to Greece and you walk amongst these crumbling ruins, and our society has built around them. We exist around them. And we exist because of them. And so there are a lot of parallels even with, what we're going to see here with Citadel space. That the Citadel and the relays and all these things exist because of the Protheans. So all of evolution is stemming from this now, and is going to be a critical part of the conflict going forward. Why did we tell the Council?
Why didn't we keep the beacon for ourselves?
You humans don't have the best reputation. Some species see you as selfish, too unpredictable, too independent, even dangerous.
Sharing that beacon will improve relations with the Council. Plus, we need their scientific expertise. They know more about the Protheans than we do.
The beacon's not the only reason I'm here, Shepard.
Nihilus wants to see you in action, Commander. He's here to evaluate you.
Why?
What's going on, Captain?
The Alliance has been pushing for this for a long time. Humanity wants a larger role in shaping interstellar policy. We want more say with the Citadel Council. The Spectres represent the Council's power and authority. If they accept a human into their ranks, it shows how far the Alliance has come.
You held off an enemy assault during the Blitz.
You wish, Toon.
Courage, moderator but also on the incredible internet. Skill.
Good to see you, friend.
That's why I put your name forward as a candidate for the Spectres.
Now things are starting to make sense. Now we're starting to see these pieces come together. The famed war hero getting a seat at the table. The overall objective of humanity trying to overall get a larger seat at the galactic table. And this idea of, so we're seeing politics completely in action here with this idea of, let's bring you this beacon, which is going to provide knowledge that benefits all of us, even though we could have just kept this for ourselves because it's on our planet, but we're going to share it with everyone. And, you know, maybe it's kind of like a tit for tat situation. We're going to do that, and you're going to, like, give us a Spectre, right? And we're going to be able to sit on the council, right? Politics so heavily at work here. And for a war hero like Shepard, that's probably going to leave a weird taste in her mouth. You put my name forward?
Why would a Turian want a human in the Spectres?
Not all Turians resent humanity. Some of us see the potential of your species. We see what you have to offer to the rest of the galaxy, and to the Spectres. We are an elite group. It's rare to find an individual with the skills we seek. I don't care that you're human, Shepard. I only care that you can do the job.
There we go.
I assume this is good for the Alliance.
Earth needs this, Shepard. We're counting on you.
I need to see your skills for myself, Commander. Eden Prime will be the first of several missions together.
You'll be in charge of the ground team. Secure the beacon and get it onto the ship ASAP. Nihilus will accompany you to observe the mission.
What do you know about the Protheans?
Just what they taught us in school. They were a technologically advanced species that ruled the galaxy 50,000 years ago. Then they vanished. Nobody really knows how or why, though I've heard plenty of theories.
Should have kept the beacon.
But everyone agrees, galactic civilization wouldn't exist without them.
Their citadel is the very heart of galactic society, and without their mass relays, interstellar travel would be impossible. We all owe the Protheans a great debt.
There we go.
I'd like to know more about Eden Prime before we touch down.
It's a peaceful farming world, but it represents something much bigger. Eden Prime is one of our oldest and most successful colonies. It proved we were ready to face the challenges of settling new worlds, to forge a place for humanity beyond Earth. It symbolizes humanity's growth and evolution as a spacefaring species. And after this, it will be known as the world where humans made a discovery of galactic importance.
It will be known as the world where humans made a discovery of galactic importance. So again, we're seeing this setup of Eden Prime as being the best that humanity has to offer, and being named after a place which represents the utopia and utopian idealist mentality of humankind. Beacon.
Why is this beacon so important?
All advanced galactic civilization is based on Prothean technology, even yours.
If we hadn't discovered those Prothean ruins buried on Mars, we'd still be stuck on Earth. That was just a small data cache. Who knows what we can learn from this beacon?
Jedi, hello?
What if it's a weapons archive? We can't let it fall into the wrong hands.
I love these games too, and it's so revisiting them from my literary perspective is going to be very fun. Good to see you though, Jedi. Hello, hello. I'm doing well. How are you? Wrong hands.
Like who?
The Attican Traverse isn't the most stable sector of Citadel space. There are plenty of raiders and criminal groups active in the region. They might figure a Prothean beacon is worth the risk of attacking an Alliance ship. Plus, Eden Prime is right on the border of the Terminus systems.
The Attican Traverse is under Citadel protection. If the Terminus systems attack, it's an act of war.
Technically, yes. But some of the species in the Terminus might be willing to start a war over this.
The last thing the Council wants is to get dragged into a major conflict with the Terminus systems. We have to keep this low-key.
Okay.
Just give the word, Captain.
We should be getting close to Eden.
Captain, we got a problem.
What's wrong, Joker?
Transmission from Eden Prime, sir.
Oh,
You better
that sounds
see this.
fun, Jedi.
Bring it up on screen.
Get down!
Right.
We are under attack, taking heavy casualties. I repeat, heavy casualties. We can't get evac. They came out of nowhere. We need...
Everything cuts out after that. No comm traffic at all. Just goes dead. There's nothing.
Reverse and hold at 38.5. Status report.
17 minutes out, Captain. No other Alliance ships in the area.
Take us in, Joker, fast and quiet. This mission just got a lot more complicated.
A small strike team can move quickly, without drawing attention. It's our best chance to secure the beacon.
Grab your gear and meet us in the cargo hold. Tell Alenko and Jenkins to suit up, Commander. You're going in.
That design...
Engaging stealth systems.
Not an accident.
Somebody was doing some serious
We'll talk more
digging
about
here,
that when we
Captain.
actually meet the Reapers, but
Your
that
team's
is
the
not
muscle
an
in this
accident.
operation, Commander. Go in heavy and head straight for the dig site.
What about survivors, Captain?
Helping survivors is a secondary objective. The beacon's your top priority.
Approaching drop point 1.
Nihilus, you're coming with us?
I move faster on my own.
Nihilus will scout out ahead. He'll feed you status reports throughout the mission. Otherwise, I want radio silence.
We've got his back, Captain.
The mission's yours now, Shepard. Good luck!
We are approaching drop point 2.
Ship perimeter secure, Commander.
Alright. Thanks, Joker.
This place got hit hard, Commander. Hostiles everywhere.
What the hell are those?
Gas bags. Don't worry, they're harmless.
I, too, could be considered a gas bag.
What happened here?
To switch weapons for your squad. Shepard unavailable. Use L to select a weapon. Equip my Lancer. Okay, it's not loud. What an unfortunate way to go down, brother. Sorry, Jenkins.
Ripped right through his shields. Never had a chance.
So, this is our first chance as Shepard to really establish the baseline for how our Shepard is going to respond in intense combat situations. We are now given the reins, and it's a very poignant it's a very poignant moment that our first chance to set that tone is on the death of one of our comrades. For Shepard, one of her subordinates. So this is where the player really gets to decide who is the Shepard that I'm going to play. Am I the Shepard that, takes a beat even in these high octane moments to acknowledge and respect the fallen, or am I the type of person that's like, fuck it, we ball? Or am I still kind of in my gray area and I'm not sure yet? And like I've said, I'm going Paragon this run, because it's just who I am and I can't be mean to people. But I think it's something that a lot of people, maybe when they play the game, might not think much about, but it really allows you to set the tone for yourself as Shepard. and, you know, set the tone for the people that are going to be serving under you. Humankind, it's the weakest enemy in the game. Yeah, seriously. Hard time being a jerk game. 100% Jedi can't do it. Never been able to do a renegade
We'll see
run.
that he receives a proper service once the mission is complete. But I need you to stay focused.
Aye, aye, ma'am.
All right, and on we go. To heal injured squad members, how much it can be used to bypass decryption and electronic channels. Both can be acquired by defeating enemies and opening containers.
I've got some burned out buildings here, Shepard. A lot of bodies. I'm gonna check it out. I'll try to catch up with you at the dig site.
You big stupid jellyfish. Oof. And now we get a look at our first enemy. Well, our first enemy that walks on two legs. Hello.
Gunnery Chief Ashley Williams of the 212. You the one in charge here, ma'am?
Give me a status report, Williams.
Oh, man. We were patrolling the perimeter when the attack hit. We tried to get off a distress call, but they cut off our communications. I've been fighting for my life ever since.
Where's the rest of your squad?
We tried to double back to the beacon, but we walked into an ambush.
Oh, absolutely,
I
Adam.
I think I'm the only one left.
This isn't your fault, Williams. You couldn't have done anything to save them.
Yes, ma'am. We held our position as long as we could, until the Geth overwhelmed us.
The Geth haven't been seen outside the Veil in nearly 200 years. Why are they here now?
Paragon, accept reporters. Yes.
The dig site is close, just over that rise. It might still be there.
We could use your help, Williams.
Aye, aye, ma'am. It's time for payback.
What else do you know about the Geth?
Just what I remember from history class back in school. They're synthetics, non-organic life forms with limited AI programming, created by the Quarians a few centuries ago. They were supposed to be a source of cheap labor, but ended up turning on the Quarians and drove them into exile. Well, after that, they just kind of disappeared behind the Perseus Veil. Nobody's really heard much from them since.
Well, that's very relevant. We're going to learn a lot more about the Quarians and the Geth, so I don't want to wax on this too long, but one of the recurring themes we're going to see here is how technological advancement, and including the use of AI, for the purpose of self-preservation is not the right word, but self-gratification, we'll say, in the instance of the Quarians. You know, they create the Geth just for the purpose of servitude, just as a way to kind of offload, you know, shit they don't want to do, and it backfires on them. You create something that has the potential to be self-aware, and you justify its existence by the fact that it is synthetic, and you control it because, and it creates a god, kind of a god complex. Again, we'll explore a lot of that in the game. Well, yeah, of course they didn't, but they were. And it's a question that is going to come up throughout this game and through successive games. So there'll be more to talk about at that point, but this is a good establishment here to learn more about, wait, why is this synthetic species here, which has been presumably off doing their own shit for the last however long it's been.
Tell me everything you know about the beacon.
They were doing some digging out here to extend the monorail and expand the colony. A few weeks ago, they unearthed some Prothean ruins and the beacon. Suddenly, every scientific expert in the colony was interested. That's when they brought us in to secure the site. I don't know much about the beacon itself, but I heard one of the researchers say this could be the biggest scientific discovery of the century.
What happened to the researchers at the dig site?
I don't know. They set up camp near the beacon. The 232 was with them. Maybe their unit fared better than mine.
Describe what happened leading up to the attack.
We were sent out a couple of nights ago from the main colony to secure the area. Seemed like a routine patrol.
Isaac Caden holding a gun.
We never knew they were coming.
What happened to the researchers at the dig site?
Oh, I
don't know.
That.
They set up camp near the beacon. The 232 was with them. Maybe their unit fared better than mine.
Have you seen a Turian Spectre around here?
There aren't any Turians on Eden Prime. None that I've ever met. Not sure I'd be able to tell if one was a Spectre anyway.
If you saw this guy, you'd know. Carries enough firepower to wipe out a whole platoon. Luckily, he's on our side.
Sorry. Like I said, no Turians.
All right.
Move out!
Mission computer, then go to the squad screen to spend talent points for new squad members. Yeah, I know. Okay. How that bar side? I'm playing modded. This is a modded run, Adam. I already forgot how to sprint. How do I sprint in this game? Okay, it's A. You.
This is the dig site. The beacon was right here and must have been moved.
By who? Our side or the Geth?
Hard to say. Maybe we'll know more after we check out the research camp.
You think anyone got out of here alive?
If they were lucky. Maybe hiding up in the camp. It's just on the top of this ridge, up the ramps.
Change of plans, Shepard. There's a small spaceport up ahead. I want to check it out. I'll wait for you there.
Looks like they hit the camp hard.
It's a good place for an ambush. Keep your guard up.
Ugh, I hate these.
Oh god, they're still alive.
What did the Geth do to them?
He got there in the end.
Holy Jesus. What is
It's a
that?
big titty Geth girlfriend.
What the
Do
fuck
they,
is that?
Protocol? Do they? Do they, though?
That door, it's closed. Security lock's engaged.
Thank you, Captain Obvious. Chew. Goth girlfriend. Uh-huh.
Humans, thank the Maker.
Hurry, close the door before they come back.
Oh my gosh, it's a Jeffrey. Jeffrey, thank you so much for the raid. Hello, welcome in, Raiders. My name's Professor Claire. I'm an actual professor. I teach about video games as literature at my local college. We are playing Mass Effect. This is Mass Effect 1. We're still in the prologue sequence. We haven't gotten very far. Yeah, look at you ratings. Proud of you. Yeah, I think my mods are sleeping on the job. If yeah, only mods can shout out, that's why. Only the mods can do it. Thank you. Thank you, Toon. I was playing art. Playing at art. How was the photo editing going, Jeffrey? Also, I recognize it's a little late, so if you need to take care of yourself, no worries. I still try. You still try. Before they come back. You're safe.
Don't worry. We'll protect you.
Thank you. I think we'll be okay now. It looks like everyone's gone.
You're Dr. Warren, the one in charge of the excavation. Do you know what happened to the beacon?
It was moved to the spaceport this morning. Manuel and I stayed behind to help pack up the camp. When the attack came, the Marines held them off long enough for us to hide. They gave their lives to save us.
No one is saved. The age of humanity is ended. Soon, only ruin and corpses will remain.
Okay, we don't really need any additional backstory.
Williams, take us to the spaceport.
You can't stop it. Nobody can stop it. Night is falling. The darkness of eternity.
Hush, Manuel. Go lie down. You'll feel better once the medication kicks in.
I would like some medication too. Fuck. To finish giving star ratings to all of my photos, so on to the next step. Hey, you know what? We love to see that progress. Glad that you were able to get through all of those. Holy moly. What an endeavor. Didn't you say you took like 2,800 photos? So that is a task, my friend. That is a task.
Saren. Nihilus.
This isn't your mission, Saren. What are you doing here?
The Council thought you could use some help on this one.
I wasn't expecting to find the Geth here. The situation's bad.
Don't worry. I've got it under control.
Uh-oh. That's one way to introduce the big bad.
What is that? Off in the distance.
500 to 600? Wow.
Ship. Look at the size of it.
Then That's not well, not really a ship. It's amazing how easily this can be missed. That thing's coming to kill you. Well, this guy, I don't think that guy knows what he's doing.
Commander, it's Nihilus.
Oh, sorry, Nihilus.
Something's moving over behind those crates.
Wait! Don't shoot! I'm one of you! I'm human!
What are you doing sneaking around back there?
I'm sorry, I was hiding from those creatures. My name's Powell. I saw what happened to that Turian. The other one shot him.
You're saying Nihilus was murdered by a Turian?
The other one got here first. He was waiting when your friend showed up. He called him Saren. I think they knew each other. Your friend seemed to relax. He let his guard down. And Saren killed him. Shot him right in the back. I'm just lucky he didn't see me behind the crates.
We were told a Prothean beacon was brought to the spaceport. What happened to it?
It's over on the other platform. Probably where that guy Saren was headed. He hopped on the cargo train right after he killed your friend. I knew that beacon was trouble. Everything's gone to hell since we found it. First that damn mothership showed up, then the attack. They killed everyone. Everyone. If I hadn't been behind the crates, I'd be dead too.
How come you're the only one who survived? Why didn't anyone else try to hide behind the crates?
They never had a chance. I was already behind the crates when the attack started.
Wait a minute. You were hiding behind the crates before the attack?
Sometimes I need a nap to get through my shift.
Same.
I sneak off behind the crates to grab 40 winks where the supervisor can't find me.
You survived because you're lazy?
Oh, give it a fucking break, Ashley. Jesus Christ.
If you hadn't snuck off for that nap, you'd probably be dead just like all the others.
Yeah, I guess. I don't really want to think about it.
Is there anything else you can tell me about the beacon?
This
They
guy
brought it
sounds
here
like a
this morning.
coward.
We loaded it up onto the train and shipped it to the other platform. Hard to believe that was only a few hours ago. Feels like a whole other life.
Tell me about this mothership you saw.
I've never seen anything like it before. It was huge. Landed over near that platform. The whole place got dark as it came down. And it was making this noise, this sound that bored right into your brain. That's what woke me up. The attack came a few minutes later.
We need to find that beacon before it's too late.
Take the cargo train. That's where the other Turian went. I can't stay here. I need to get away from all this.
All right. Well, unfortunately, this is, well, let's beat these guys up first. The introduction of Saren is incredibly important. And it's important because... Cool, stuff. It's important because it establishes his personality very early, even if we don't yet know his motivations. We don't know his motivations, but we know what he's willing to do to achieve his motivations. We know that he's willing to betray one of his own without a second thought. And while we don't really have any concept as to what the relationship between Saren and Nihilus was, we know it was enough, at least for Nihilus, to completely let his guard down and be trusting of Saren. Enough so that Saren was able to take advantage of that immediately. So we already know now from the get-go that Saren is going to be a fucking problem. You know, oops, sorry, Ashley, even though I kind of don't mind that I did that. We've got enough of an establishment now that we know Saren is going to be the big bad. Good morning from Norway, Fred. Hello, hello. Welcome in. We love our Norwegian friends. We have another member of this community who is of the Norway persuasion. Let me change to my... So it's true, we are taking over to it. In a manner of speaking. You can say that. Welcome in. Good to have you here. Yeah, our buddy's name is Oxforth. So if he pops in, you can share in your relatedness of being from Norway. Die, 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 die. Home, home, home. Choo-choo, motherfucker. We are doing a Paragon Shepard.
Set the charges. Destroy the entire colony. Leave no evidence that we were here.
Oxforth comes in, he can have our brain. I'm tired. Oh, 2 hours of sleep, my dude. Yeah, I forgot we gotta
demolition charges. The Geth must have planted them.
Hurry! We need to find them all and shut them down.
In 2 hours, I'd be driving for 6 hours. Oof! Where are you headed? If you don't mind me asking. Or just that your job requires driving for 6 hours. visiting my niece because she's turning to. Oh! Well, happy birthday to your niece. That's fun. Oops. Ah. Oh, right at the last second. Jeez. Alright, where's that other? Where is that other bomb? That's not it. Is it over here somewhere? No? Always forget. Oh no, this is where we came from. So it can't be here. What the F? This is awkward. I don't actually remember where it is. Tell me I found 3 of them, but not the 4th. Oh, come on, man. Really? How did I muck this up? Well, I guess we're gonna have to do it again, because I don't remember where it is. Game ended. GG. Resume. Try again.
Demolition charges. The Geth must have planted them.
Hurry! We need to find them all and shut them down.
Speed run. Okay, there's one. There's 2. There's 3.
Shields out.
Now we got them all. Who on your team is Captain Obvious? All of them are Captain Obvious. Alright, we got all the charges that time. I missed one in a very obvious spot because I am dumb. Dumb every now and then. True. You have to have Lieutenant Obvious and Private Obvious. That's true. Alright, let's get all our loot. Oh my god, I'm so bad at this. There we go. And also general nuisance. Especially general nuisance. Hard agree.
Normandy, the beacon is secure.
This is amazing. Actual working Prothean technology. Unbelievable.
It wasn't doing anything like that when they dug it up.
Something must have activated it.
Roger, Normandy. Standing by.
Shepard!
No, don't touch. It's too.
We identified the ship that touched down on Eden Prime. The Normandy, a human alliance vessel. It was under the command of Captain Anderson. They managed to save the colony.
And the beacon.
One of the humans may have used it.
This human must be eliminated.
Silent in what way, Jeffrey?
Doctor? Dr. Chakwas. I think she's waking up.
Are you having a hard time hearing it?
You had us worried there, Shepard. How are you feeling?
Oh, yeah, no, that's... I feel like that's very much like, like a issue with the game being from 2006 or whenever it was released. It's definitely like a silly feature of this game that is remedied in later titles, for sure. Actually, before we do that, I needed to look something up. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Please hold. Oh, did I burp? That is silly. Okay, so this is a lot. They expected the rest of the sound to be covered by the jet engine fan noises of the machine it took to run the game. Probably. So we talked about, Eden Prime as the setting for the game, and its existence being, the symbolic of human perseverance and this idea of utopia and, this perfect colony that humanity was very proud of. And we just see that it has been desecrated in a big way, all in the interest of securing this beacon that we don't know much about and that we are going to learn more about. But it is also symbolic in a way to see Eden Prime really turned to this sort of like fire and ash, because the way that it's left in the biblical story is that it becomes guarded by a angel wielding a flaming sword, and it becomes forever lost to humanity. So once again, humans have lost their picture perfect idealist world and concept. And it is very much a foreshadow as to what is coming later on in the story. Eden Prime represents, this is the prologue of the game, but it represents so much of what's to come. It is a very dark foreshadow, and it is a warning for these, what we see now as these multiple forces at work. We have, these synthetic life forms, the Geth, that are answering to this dude called Saren. We don't understand why he cared about the beacon, but we know that he did, and we know that he's pissed that not only was the colony not destroyed and evidence of his involvement not erased, but that it was potentially used, and the knowledge within is now no longer just his. So the lines have been drawn, even if, we as a character don't quite understand why. And we're going to get a little more insight here into what we just saw as we talk to Shepard. But we know that via the beacon, Shepard has seen something that she's not going to be able to fully piece together yet. Something that is very much like frightening in its full scope, and even more so based on the fact that it's so much that cannot even be fully pieced together or understood. It's like the truest form of an unreliable narrator. He once again took something beautiful and amazing and fucked it all up. Well, technically it was the Turians and the Geth that took it and fucked it all up. Humans didn't have anything to do with this one.
Minor throbbing. Nothing serious. How long was I out?
About 15 hours. Something happened down there with the beacon, I think.
It's my fault. I must have triggered some kind of security field when I approached it. You had to push me out of the way.
You had no way to know what would happen.
Actually, we don't even know if that's what set it off. Unfortunately, we'll never get the chance to find out.
The beacon exploded. A system overload, maybe. And the blast knocked you cold. Williams and I had to carry you back here to the ship.
I appreciate it.
Physically, you're fine. But I detected some unusual brain activity. Abnormal beta waves. I also noticed an increase in your rapid eye movement. Signs typically associated with intense dreaming.
I'm not sure what I saw. Death, destruction... Nothing's really clear.
I better add this to my report. It may... Oh, Captain Anderson.
How's our XO holding up, Doctor?
Well, all the readings look normal. I'd say the commander's going to be fine.
Glad to hear it. Shepard, I need to speak with you. In private.
Aye, aye, Captain. I'll be in the mess if you need me.
Sounds like that beacon hit you pretty hard, Commander. Are you sure you're okay?
And here's another chance for us to sort of establish what the relationship is going to be looking like for us with our commanding officer. What are some of the things that we care about? Hello, Chai! Sort of in time, hey! There's no such thing. If you're here, you're here. And that's the best thing either way. Good to have you, friend. So again, yeah, this is an area for us to establish the kind of Shepard that we want to be. We have just been through something traumatic on the same lines of, the intense combat that we've experienced as Shepard. Jedi, have a good night. Thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate you. Get some good rest. And it's also so we can decide, are we going to express empathy for our lost comrade? Are we going to ask about, what happened with the mission and like the people that were in our mission that are still alive, like a debrief? Or are we going to express, some level of frustration or, that we didn't get to, complete the mission in the way that we wanted? So how are we going to set that baseline? Again, since I'm playing Paragon, I'm going with, the people that I lost. I'm expressing like a sense of remorse. That is the Shepard that I want to be, a Shepard that has, lived through this trauma in the past, has been through, losing people, and wants to atone for mistakes, wants to, continue to be the hero, not for being a hero's sake, but because it's the right thing. Appreciate it, Chai.
I don't like soldiers dying under my command.
Jenkins wasn't your fault. You did a good job, Shepard.
Did we leave Gunnery Chief Williams back on Eden Prime?
I figured we could use a soldier like her. She's been reassigned to the Normandy.
Williams is a good soldier. She deserves it.
Lieutenant Alenko agrees with you. That's why I added her to our crew.
We are doing a soldier, Earthborn, war hero background.
Intel dropped the ball, sir. We had no idea what we were walking into down there. That's why things went to hell.
The Geth haven't been outside the Veil in 2 centuries, Commander. Nobody could have predicted this.
You said you needed to see me in private, Captain?
I won't lie to you, Shepard. Things look bad. Nihilus is dead. The beacon was destroyed and Geth are invading. The Council's going to want answers.
We got nothing to hide.
I didn't do anything wrong, Captain. Hopefully the Council can see that.
I'll stand behind you and your report, Shepard. You're a damned hero in my books. That's not why I'm here. It's Saren, that other Turian. Saren's a Spectre, one of the best, a living legend. But if he's working with the Geth, it means he's gone rogue. A rogue Spectre's trouble. Saren's dangerous, and he hates humans.
There's more of our background.
Why?
He thinks we're growing too fast, taking over the galaxy. A lot of aliens think that way. Most of them don't do anything about it. But Saren has allied himself with the Geth. I don't know how, I don't know why. I only know it had something to do with that beacon. You were there just before that beacon self-destructed. Did you see anything? Any clue that might tell us what Saren was after?
First ever Shepard, when I initially attempted it. The soldier, Earthborn. First proper run through all 3 was a Vanguard. Oh, nice. Oh, no, you're fine, Chai. You're totally fine. A vision.
Just before I lost consciousness, I had some kind of vision.
Derek, hello. Good to see you.
A vision? A vision of what?
Now, we're kind of back to... how do I want to build my Shepard's persona? Is Shepard an idealist? Is Shepard hopeful? Is Shepard pessimistic? A vision of... also had purple hair. Yeah. I'm using a mod to have like a longer hair because why not? Because a warning seems to imply that Shepard believes something bad is going to happen or could potentially happen if we don't act, but it's not, inevitable. Saying war implies that something inevitable and bad is going to happen, and our death is an implication that we're fucked. So what is the level of, grimness that I want to portray with Shepard. And I'm going to keep going with this, idealist mentality. This is a warning. We don't know what's happening yet. We don't have all the information, but we know it's something bad. Hey, maybe she does go war here because that's literally what the warning is for. Our death works, though. Yeah, but that's very grim. I always like to say it as a warning. But, that's just me.
I saw synthetics. Geth, maybe. Slaughtering people. Butchering them.
We need to report this to the Council, Shepard.
What will we say?
What are we gonna tell them? I had a bad dream?
We don't know what information was stored in that beacon. Lost Prothean technology? Blueprints for some ancient weapon of mass destruction? Whatever it was. Saren took it. But I know Saren. I know his reputation is politics. He believes humans are a blight on the galaxy. This attack was an act of war. He has the secrets from the beacon. He has an army of Geth at his command, and he won't stop until he's wiped humanity from the face of the galaxy.
So, Anderson is jumping to a lot of conclusions here. I mean, and he's correct. We do know that. But it's really difficult to glean all this information just from, we did not see Saren. We only have the report of one witness who saw the two nihilists talking to Saren and heard him say Saren's name. We don't have anything else beyond that. So it's kind of, as a player and as a lit nerd, it takes me out a little bit to see Anderson sort of jump to all of these conclusions. Just based on having heard, it's Saren. Saren hates humans. Saren's a racist, spacist. I don't know what you would call space racist, spacist. He doesn't like humans. He doesn't want us involved. He's trying to push us out. So surely that's why he was on Eden Prime. He's trying to jeopardize us in some way. We don't have all the facts. So it kind of ruins my suspension of disbelief a little bit. When he jumps the gun like that, even though we know narratively he is going in the right direction. I mean, I have the hindsight to know where he's going with this and that he's correct. But playing this for the first time, it does make you be like, oh, wait, why are we going so disjointed? And it does sort of imply that Anderson has some history with Saren that, we will eventually learn more about. But doesn't really lend credibility to Anderson because there's some implicit bias there. A couple places really develop my Shepard is, let's just say she gets more renegade, especially in 3. Yeah. It's okay, but the third one's amazing and it's creepy Reaper Cerberus. The second game for me is, the second game is my top 5 all time. Mass Effect 2 is top 5 all time for me. Comic is a lot, the Elusive Man is really good. And the Liar and Farron one. Oh, you're talking about the books. Okay, I was going to say, how dare you? Mass Effect 2 is amazing. I think one thing I would have improved is not letting us see Nihilus get shot by Saren and let us just hear that gunshot and then we come upon him later, but we know as much as Shepard, if that makes sense. Yeah, that's true. I think that definitely builds a little bit more to kind of what we're talking about here, Shai, because then we, like you said, then we literally just know as much as Shepard knows, and we really only have the word of this one witness that we saw on Eden Prime, that happened to see it, all go down. Then we truly have to trust another unreliable narrator in the same way that we are trusting the visions that we saw from this beacon, which is truly going to be like the unreliable narrator that propels us through Mass Effect 1. Yeah, ME2 is a gem. You can't go wrong with ME2. So, okay.
I'll find some way to take him down.
It's not that easy. He's a Spectre. He can go anywhere, do almost anything.
Agreed, Derek.
That's why we need the Council on our side.
We prove Saren's gone rogue and the Council will revoke his Spectre status.
Agreed, Shai.
I'll contact the Ambassador and see if he can get us an audience with the Council. He'll want to see us as soon as we reach the Citadel. We should be getting close. Head up to the bridge and tell Joker to bring us into dock.
Okay. we'll go up and say hi to Joker, and that's probably going to be where we end it tonight.
Okay, Commander. Commander, I'm glad to see you're okay. Losing Jenkins was hard on the crew, and I'm glad we didn't lose you too.
49 different outcomes, like PG-3. That's so right.
Things were pretty rough down there.
Yeah, you never get used to seeing dead civilians. It doesn't seem right somehow. But at least you stopped Saren from wiping out the whole colony.
I couldn't have done it without you.
We're Marines. We stick together. And I'm just sorry that we lost Jenkins.
Yeah, I wish I could have done something to save him.
I was there. You did everything right. It was just bad luck. It's been a hell of a shakedown cruise. Our first mission ends with one Spectre killing another. The Citadel Council's not gonna be happy about that. Probably use it to lever more concessions out of the Alliance.
You've got a good grasp of the situation. You a career man?
Yeah, a lot of biotics
Well,
we're not
we're at the beginning of the game, so don't worry about that just yet.
We'll get a paycheck for it. Besides, my father served. I made him proud when I enlisted. Eventually. But is that why you're here? Because of your family?
I never met my parents. If they wanted to see me, they'd have contacted me after that mess a few years back.
Oh, that's right, the Blitz. I imagine that bought you any post in the fleet. Word is we're heading for the Citadel, ma'am. Can you, tell me why?
The captain hopes the ambassador can get an audience with the council. Tell them what Saren's been up to.
Makes sense. They'd probably like to know he's not working for them anymore. Whatever happens, we'll be ready, Commander.
Yeah, she's not that bad if you don't talk to her much. Yeah, we'll do some chit-chatting with Ashley, mostly for story purposes, but yeah.
I'm glad you're okay, Commander. The crew could use some good news after what happened to Jenkins.
Jenkins was a valuable part of this crew.
Part of me feels guilty over what happened. If Jenkins was still alive, I might not be here.
You're a good soldier, Williams. You belong on the Normandy.
Thanks, Commander. That means a lot from you. I've never met anyone who was awarded the Star of Terra.
Things were pretty rough down there. Are you okay?
I've seen friends die before. Comes with being a Marine. But to see my whole unit wiped out, and you never get used to seeing dead civilians.
See, she's just meh to me.
If you hadn't shown up.
She's just meh.
We couldn't have done it without you, Williams.
Thanks, Commander. I have to admit, I was a little worried about being assigned to the Normandy. It's nice when someone makes you feel welcome.
I think you're gonna fit in here just fine, Williams.
Thanks, Commander.
All right. Oh wait, I need to go to the actual floor where the bridge is. Trade up for Miranda.
Good timing, Commander. I was just about to bring
Miranda.
us into the Citadel. See that taxpayer money at work.
Yeah, she's just meh. Ha! That's funny.
Look at the size of that ship.
The Ascension, flagship of the Citadel fleet.
Well, size isn't everything.
Why so touchy, Joker?
I'm just saying you need firepower, too.
Look at that monster. Its main gun could rip through the barriers in any ship in the Alliance fleet.
Good thing it's on our side, then.
Citadel Control, this is SSV Normandy, requesting permission to land.
Stand by for clearance, Normandy. Clearance granted. You may begin your approach. Transferring you to an Alliance operator.
Roger, Alliance Tower. Normandy out.
Normandy, this is Alliance Tower. Please proceed to Dock 422.
Yeah, this is just story mode, Chai.
This is an outrage! The Council would step in if the Geth attacked a Turian colony?
The Turians don't found colonies on the borders of the Terminus systems, Ambassador.
Humanity was well aware of the risks when you went into the Traverse.
What about Saren? You can't just ignore a rogue Spectre. I demand action!
You don't get to make demands of the Council, Ambassador.
Citadel Security is investigating your charges against Saren. We will discuss the CSEC findings at the hearing, not before.
Captain Anderson, I see you brought half your crew with you.
Just the ground team from Eden Prime, in case you had any questions.
I have the mission reports. I assume they're accurate?
They are. Sounds like you convinced the Council to give us an audience.
They were not happy about it. Saren's their top agent. They don't like him being accused of treason.
He's dangerous.
Saren's a threat to every human colony out there. He needs to be stopped. The Council has to listen to us.
Settle down, Commander. You've already done more than enough to jeopardize your candidacy for the Spectres. The mission on Eden Prime was a chance to prove you could get the job done. Instead, Nihilus ended up dead and the beacon was destroyed.
That's Saren's fault, not hers.
Then we better hope the CSEC investigation turns up evidence to support our accusations. Otherwise, the Council might use this as an excuse to keep you out of the Spectres. Come with me, Captain. I want to go over a few things before the hearing. Shepard, you and the others can meet us at the Citadel Tower, top level. I'll make sure you have clearance to get in.
And that's why I hate politicians.
Yeah, it's fair. I also hate politicians. Alright, let's go ahead and save. And that is going to be where we leave it this evening.